signal whenever anxiety is produced. Okay. See, for example, we'll take again the example of spider. Okay, spider in the systematic desensitization. I told the spider example, right? Okay, here also step by step. When he started to think about the spider in his mind. Okay, that time if he is getting anxiety, if he is producing any anxiety, he need to give some signals to the therapist. Okay, then the next step, if he is not getting any anxiety after thinking about spider, if he is not getting, it's okay. Then second step, if while seeing photo of spider, okay, if he, first he should imagine in his mind, then he need to see the photo of the spider. After seeing the photo of spider, again if he get any fear, okay, if he produce any fear, again we need to give some signals. Okay, then the third step, if he sees the real spider in a box, if he get fear of or anxious, and by seeing that spider in a box, if he is getting anxious, again he need to give some. Okay, each step, okay, wherever the anxiety is producing, there he need to give some signals. Okay, each signal is asked to relax. That whenever he is getting the anxiety, he is supposed to give signal, right? Each signal we need as a therapist supposed to make the patients to be in a relax. Yeah, by seeing the photo of the spider who is getting anxious, the therapist beside of the patient, the therapist is supposed to be there, and the therapist is supposed to make the patients to relax, no problem. That is the photo only. Then after seeing in the box, again if he is getting anxious, he is supposed to give a signal. Again therapist making him to be in a relaxed state. So each signal the therapist supposed to make the patients to be in a relaxed position. Okay. After few trials, after doing few trials and all, the patient is able to control his anxiety gradually. Okay. After doing few trials, gradually the patient may control his anxiety. These type of desensitization of stimulus, like we will see certain types of phobias, even obsession compulsion disorders also we can use, and even some certain sexual disorders also we can use this desensitization of the stimulus. Okay, this is comes under systematic desensitization. Okay, systematic desensitization under we have discussed relaxation training, hierarchy construction, then desensitization of the stimulus. Okay, then the next one is we will go for flooding. Okay, flooding. Okay, the second one is flooding. Okay, here flooding. Flooding in the sense it is a more extreme behavior therapy. Okay, here the more extreme behavior therapy, the patient is directly exposed to the phobic stimulus, but escape is made impossible. Here we need to expose the stimulus, phobic stimulus to the patient. Here the escape is made impossible. For example, I will tell you flooding. If the patient is getting scared or fear of dogs, okay, most of the people will they habituated to keep the dogs in the house. Certain people are there, those who are getting scared or anxious about dogs and all. Okay, so the patient is getting anxious or fear about dogs. Okay, what we need to do is directly we need to keep a dog and the patient in a separate room. Okay, therapist, what we need to do means we need to keep a dog. We need to keep a patient with a dog in a separate room, and we need to lock it in the room outside. Then that is the means what it means here. We need to expose directly phobic stimulus to the patient. Phobic stimulus is dog here. Directly we are exposing to the patient. How we are exposing directly means we are keeping in a separate room. Means in that room, in that particular room, only dog and the patient supposed to be there. Okay. What will happen? See, by seeing the dog from the far only, he is getting scared. Okay. If we are keeping dog directly in the separate room, means what will happen? What is the situation of the patient? Okay. For the first day, he may shout. Okay. He may fight. The dog may be bark. The dog may be fight with the. Both of will be having the fightings. Okay, the dog and the patient. Okay, so directly after when the patient, when he is shouting or when he is when he is doing different type of behavior in the separate room, what will happen? The therapist need to give some support. The therapist need to give some encouragement. Okay, not bite you. You can have good conversation with the dog. That is the pet dog. Like that, you need to give some support or you need to give some encouragement to the patient. Okay. After doing few trials, okay. After doing few trials, even the patient may have a good communication or he can have a good training skill with a dog. Like that. Okay. Directly here, see, when we are keeping dog with the patient, he cannot escape from the room, right? Patient cannot escape from the room. Even we are locking the door outside also. Okay. The escape is cannot escape is made impossible. It is impossible to escape from the dog. Okay. We are keeping in a separate room. Okay. So phobic stimulus is dog here. Directly we are exposing phobic stimulus, means we are directly exposing dog to the patient in a separate room. When we are keeping in a separate room, dog and patient in a separate room, what will happen? The patient cannot come from the room, right? Even when he is exposing with the dog, after few trials, even after giving some encouragement and support to the patient as a therapist, after few trials, even he may have habituated with the dogs. Thereby we can reduce or we can remove all the fear and anxiety from the patient or dogs. Okay. That is comes under flooding. Flooding means directly will expose the phobic stimulus to the patient, but escape is made impossible. Okay. By prolonged contact with the phobic stimulus, even we can, even the therapist guidance and encouragement also, we can reduce anxiety and fear from the patient. Means by prolonged contact with the dog. Okay. Here phobic stimulus means dog, right? Prolonged contact with the phobic stimulus, what will happen? Even the therapist guidance and guidance and support, we can reduce anxiety and fear from the patient. Okay, the flooding will indication of flooding is specific phobias. There are the specific phobias are there. So that may be like fear of zoophobia, animals. The dog means animal, right? Zoophobia may be have like dark places. The dog, there are the specific phobias are there. Okay. That we can give example. Then the third one is aversion therapy. Okay. Third one is aversion therapy. Okay. Here the aversion therapy means, by name itself you can understand what you mean by aversion. Aversion means avoiding something. Okay. Aversion therapy means in this therapy we need to avoid some maladaptive behaviors from the patient. Here, for example, you think that the patient is having like smoking addiction. Okay, he is addicted to the smoking. Okay, cigarette smoking. So here in aversion therapy, what we need to do is, as a therapist, if the patient is trying to quit from the smoking, okay, if he is trying to quit from the smoking, okay, what will happen in this aversion therapy? What will happen? Okay, directly see. For example, if he addicted to the smoking, maximum he may smoke the cigarettes at least 18 to 20 cigarettes he may smoke per day. If he is the addicted person, normally casually 2-3 cigarettes or 4 cigarettes, it's okay. Okay, casual persons. If he is if he is addicted to the smoking, around 10 to 12 to 13 or like below the 20 he may smoke per day. Okay, immediately if he comes for the therapist, okay, aversion therapy, if he comes to the therapist to avoid the smoking from the patient, if he comes to the therapist, what will happen? Immediately he cannot control his smoking, right? He cannot control his addiction, right? So immediately he cannot do them. Okay, for first day he cannot do them. Okay, in aversion therapy, what a therapist need to do is to control or to avoid smoking addiction from the patient. What he need to do is, when the patient is craving for the cigarettes, okay, actually the patient is trying to quit from the smoking. Okay, there what he need to do means, day by day he need to reduce the smoking of cigarettes. Even he need to have some psychological support and guidance and counseling also. Okay, then only he can get it back from the addiction. Okay, so here as a therapist, what he need to do is, when the patient craves for the cigarettes, what therapist we need to do is, we need to pinch on the skin. Okay, when the patient craves for the cigarette, the therapist, when he is having a cravingness in his mind, what the therapist need to do means, therapist is supposed to pinch on his skin. When he is pinching, what will happen? He will get unpleasant response response, right? Okay, here the some things you need to understand in aversion therapy. Pairing of the pleasant stimulus with unpleasant response. Okay, pleasant stimulus with unpleasant response. Okay, pairing of pleasant stimulus with unpleasant response. Aversion therapy means pairing of the pleasant stimulus with unpleasant response. Okay, here what will happen? Pairing of pleasant stimulus with unpleasant response means here the pleasant stimulus is cigarettes, smoking. Okay, unpleasant response means pain. Unpleasant response means pain. What will happen when the patient is craving for the cigarette? The therapist needs to pinch on the patient's skin. When he is pinching on the patient's skin, what will happen automatically? He is getting the pain, right? So he is getting pain. That is unpleasant response. Pleasant stimulus means cigarettes. Okay, when he is smoking the cigarette, he is getting pleasure to his body and mind and soul. Okay, when he is craving for the cigarettes, what will happen? He is getting unpleasant response. How is getting unpleasant response means the therapist is pinching, right? He is pinching on the skin. When the pinching will happen on the skin, what will happen? Automatically the patients may get pain. That is unpleasant. Pain is not giving pleasure to the patient. Only the cigarettes is giving pleasure to the patient. So, okay, when he is craving for the smoking, when he is craving for the cigarettes, the therapist needs to pinch on the skin. When he is pinch on the skin, he is getting pain. It's the pairing of pleasant stimulus with unpleasant response. So automatically what will happen when the therapist is doing like pinching on the continuously, if he is on the prolonged time, if he is pinching on the skin, what will happen? He is getting lots of pain. Okay, day by day what will happen? He automatically he will try to avoid the smoking of cigarettes. Okay, he will try to avoid the smoking of cigarettes from the patient. Even sometimes absence of unpleasant response, the pleasant stimulus becomes unpleasant by association. Okay, here what will happen? Even absence of unpleasant response. Absence of unpleasant response means absence of pinching also. Absence of pinching also. Even the pleasant stimulus. Pleasant stimulus means cigarette smoking will becomes unpleasant by association. Okay, prolonged time continuously the therapist pinching on the skin, what will happen? Even absence of unpleasant response, this pleasant stimulus becomes to unpleasant. Okay, after if in absence of unpleasant response, in the absence of pinching, in absence of pain, or in absence of pinching, what will happen? Even this pleasant stimulus means cigarette smoking also will become unpleasant. Means he automatically he will avoid the smoking. Means like what will happen? In absence, continuously he is pinching on the skin. Later on what he will think means why I need to get this type of things. This getting severe pain to my body, right? Even my skin also getting spoiled, right? So why I need to crash for the cigarettes? Let me control the cigarette smoking. So automatically this pleasant stimulus will become unpleasant. Pleasant stimulus become unpleasant in the absence of unpleasant response. Okay, in the absence of pinching, the pleasant stimulus, cigarette smoking will become unpleasant to the patient's body. Okay, thereby we can relieve or we can control the smoking addiction from the patient. Okay, the indication sometimes we can use this aversion therapy in alcohol abuse, smoking addiction, paraphilias. Okay, paraphilias means abnormal sexual desires. In those conditions also we can use aversion therapy. Okay, paraphilias, abnormal sexual desires. Then homosexuality, you all know the homosexuality, right? Then transvertism. Transvertism means practicing of dressing styles in a opposite sex. Okay, practicing the dressing style or practicing the dressing style in a opposite sex. Like men's will wear dressing styles like women's. That also one type of sexual desire. Okay, transvertism will come. In those conditions also we can use aversion therapy. Okay, these are the comes under aversion therapy. Then the fourth one we will see. This is the third one. The fourth Okay, here operant conditioning. You all know what do you mean by operant conditioning. Yesterday we have discussed about rewards or reinforcement. Even we have discussed about like punishment. Rewards or reinforcement, positive punishment, negative punishment. Positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement is there. And positive punishment, negative punishment also there. There are the four things we have discussed. Here operant conditioning used for increasing the adaptive behavior. By using operant conditioning, here we need to increase the adaptive behavior in the patients. There the two things they have given to increase adaptive behavior. Okay, the first one is the positive reinforcement. Okay, the first one is positive. Yesterday we have discussed, even I have given example also, positive reinforcement. Okay, okay. The second one is token economy. Okay, positive reinforcement means I have given some example here, like which example I given means spell the correct words. Okay, if they spell words correctly, we will get 100% marks. Okay, even spelling the correct words. Okay, if say for example a teacher is conducting a test in a classroom. Okay, if she given the test, she given one like topic like test based on this, like spelling the correctly all the words, they will get 100% marks. Okay, if they spells correct words, they will get 100% marks, even though they will get 1 rupee coin, or even though they will get some type of gifts or chocolate box. Okay, that is the reward. Means here the positive reinforcement means additional desired behavior, achieve the desired behavior. By achieving the desired behavior, they will get additional pleasant stimulus. Two things you should remember in positive reinforcement: achieving desired behavior. Desired behavior is spelling the correct words, they will get 100% marks. Additional pleasant stimulus means additionally they are getting reward. Reward like rupee, or reward like gift, reward like chocolate box. Okay, spelling the correct word, they are getting 100% mark, even though additionally they are getting reward. That is considered positive reinforcement. By giving rewards and all, even the patient, we can increase the adaptive behavior in the patient. The next one is token economy. What do you mean by token economy? Tokens. We are supposed to give some tokens, or we are supposed to give some sort of rewards to the patients in that also. Okay, here for example in the hospital, okay, hospital wards, in the psychiatric hospital, there are the different types of psychiatric conditions we may see in the psychiatric wards, right, in the hospital. Okay, what will happen here? This program involves giving token towards for appropriate or desired target behavior performed by the patient. Okay, here what we need to give means we need to give the token rewards. Token rewards we should give. How we will get tokens? We will go for any type of programs and all, they will give some tokens, right? The tokens means based on the tokens only they will allow us to perform, or based on that they will allow us to eat or something, right? Tokens, even restaurants also they will give some tokens, then only we will get the food. Likewise here also in the hospitals also we need to give tokens as a rewards. Okay, token economy, for example take a like hospital, psychiatric hospital, we supposed to give tokens when the patient is doing self-care. Self-care means doing daily activities by himself or herself, like medication use. See, for all the psychiatric patients, they cannot take medications properly, or they cannot use the proper timings, right? Okay, in those conditions means we need to increase the adaptive behaviors, right? So if they take medications proper timings, if they use proper methods, if they use proper methods and all, if they use proper methods, proper timings, for them we need to give some tokens. Even if they do their self-care by themselves, we need to give some tokens. Then if they if they do their work skillfully, means some type of works we need to give, right, to the patients to participate in the social activities, we are supposed to give some works. If they do the works perfectly and they do work completely, their work skills also we can give some type of tokens. Even if they are participating in the treatment, properly for them also, because most of the psychiatric patients cannot allow us to treat properly. So if the patients are participating well in the treatment also, in that conditions also we can give some sort of tokens. Tokens as rewards. By giving tokens, they'll increase some adaptive behaviors. Okay, that is comes under token economy. Okay, these are the two things which involves in operant conditioning for increasing adaptive behavior. Then we will see the operant conditioning. Operant conditioning. To teach new behavior. To teach new behavior. Okay. Here operant conditioning to teach new behavior. Operant conditioning procedures. Okay. Operant conditioning procedures. Conditioning procedures to teach new behavior. Here in these there are three things are there to teach new behavior in the patient. Okay, to teach new behavior in the patient, there are the three things are there. The first one is modeling. First one is modeling. Modeling. The second one is shaping. The third one is chaining. Chaining. Okay. Operant conditioning procedure to teach new behavior. There are the three things are there. Three procedures are there. The first one is modeling, shaping, chaining. By doing these three things, we can teach a new behavior to the patients. The first one is modeling. Right? Modeling. Modeling in the sense like here we need to teach the new behavior. This is also a method of teaching by demonstration. Modeling in the sense, you all know the modeling is right. Modeling in the sense teaching the method of teaching the method. This is a method, okay, method of teaching by demonstration. Modeling is a method of teaching by demonstration. Here what the therapist need to do means, therapist need to do the demonstration. Okay, he need to do the demonstration of their behaviors. Okay, some of the people may have some type of maladaptive behaviors and all. Okay, depends on their level of behavior. Okay, depends on their behavior level. Okay, the therapist need to demonstrate in front of the patients. There are the group of the people may have. Okay, the therapist, what the therapist need to do means, therapist need to demonstrate on a particular topic or on a particular behavior of the patient. Okay, what the therapist, all the patients will do, they'll observe, right? They'll observe the therapist, how he is doing. Okay, how he is doing, his back, how he is keeping his facial expressions, how he is moving his hands, how he is shaking his legs, how his body parts are moving. Okay, how he is talking, how is slang, how is what type of conversations, which type of language he is using. Okay, everything the patients need to observe. Okay, when the therapist is doing demonstration on a particular topic or a behavior of the patient, the patient is supposed to observe everything. After that, in among themselves, one person come forward and he need to perform exactly how he demonstrated, how the therapist have demonstrated exactly. If the patients demonstrated the same, because they may not see among like 100 candidates, 100 patients, among them all the patients may not follow the same skills, right? May not observe or may not do perfectly, or they cannot do, right? So among themselves, one or two or three people may have the intelligent power. Okay, among them if one people, all of them supposed to participate, all of them supposed to demonstrate same like therapist only. Among themselves, if one candidate, two candidates did perfectly, like same expressions, same, if they use same slangs, okay, same movement, same conversation, same everything, if they use, if they do the perfectly or same as it is how the therapist have did the same, if they perform, okay, we need to give some type of rewards to the patient. Okay, that is the comes under model. This is a them we need to give some rewards. Okay, that is comes under modeling. That also one of the we are teaching new behavior, right? Teaching new behavior means modeling, like one type of acting or imitating also you can call. Okay, acting you can call as acting. That is comes under modeling. The second one is shaping. Shaping in the sense you know, no? Without like for example, if a coin is there, okay, coin can use for there are the many things we can make through the coin. The first time the coin will be round in a shape. Even we can use some type of like metallic instruments. Even we can use the coin to make some jewelry items and all. Okay, but how we are getting jewelry items from the coins means they are giving some shapes like that. Only for psychiatric condition patients also we need to do some shaping to the patients. Okay, how we will do the shapings here means how we can take a shaping example here means, see for example I will give example like for shaping. See for example you take a kid in a classroom. Okay, how we will do the shaping means, if he is a shy kid, he cannot communicate, he cannot talk with others. Even he may have only one best friend. Without that particular best friend, he cannot come to the classes. Even he cannot attend. Even he may scared to talk with the teachers. He may have the scared to talk with other classmates also. Okay, he is a shy kid. Okay, he is a shy kid. In the classroom, how the teacher need to shape the kid? How the teacher responsibility means that she supposed to like make all the children to participate even in the education way. Even they are supposed to participate in extracurricular activities also. Okay, she need to check each and every kid in the classroom. Okay, the teacher, how the teacher supposed to do shape to the kid means, even though he is a shy kid, but she supposed to the teacher responsibility is she supposed to make the she supposed to take out the shyness from the kid. Even the kid supposed to mingle with all the classmates. Even the kid supposed to talk with freely. She is supposed to talk freely with the teacher also. Like that she should bring. Okay, like that the teacher supposed to bring that type of behavior from the kid. Even she need to avoid the shyness from the kid. How means what she supposed to do step by step. So she should give one assignment in the classroom. Okay, first she is supposed to select one kid only. That shy kid only she is supposed to select. Okay, what the assignment means, like everybody is supposed to come forward and they are supposed to read one message in front of the classmates. Okay, even the shy kid cannot do that, right? Even he is having so much scared to talk with the people. He is already shy kid. So what the teacher is supposed to do means, she is supposed to pick the same kid. She is supposed to pick the same shy kid, and if he stand up, she should give one reward. Reward means one chocolate, 1 rupee, one gift. When he stand up, she is supposed to give one reward. When he is coming forward, she is supposed to give one reward. When he is standing in front of the classroom, she is supposed to, by giving rewards and all, even by giving rewards and all, that is the one type of encouragement. Okay, that is one type of encouragement, that is one type of support. So when he is standing up, we need to give one reward. Teacher is supposed to give one reward to the shy kid. That time he gets some type of confidence. When he is coming forward in front of all the classroom, when he is coming forward, again the teacher is supposed to give one type of gift or reward. When he is standing in front of whole classroom, she is supposed to give another reward. When he started holding the book on his hand in front of all the classmates and the teacher, again the teacher is supposed to give one reward. When he started to read, again she is supposed to give the reward to the patient, to the kid. After completion of all the topic message, after read everything, after that again she is supposed to give a big reward in front of everyone. That is how she is supposed to shape the patient. First, when he is standing up, she is supposed to give reward. After coming forward, she is supposed to give one more reward. When he start hold the book, when he start the message, after completion of message, she is supposed to give rewards. By giving rewards and all, by providing, that is one type of encouragement. By giving rewards, by giving encouragement, he may get some type of confidence in his mind and heart. Thereby he can relieve shyness. After doing few trials and day by day, if he do, if the teacher teachers use the same thing, even the kid also can reduce shyness in front of kids. Likewise, we need to give the shapeness to the patient. Okay, that is comes under shaping. Okay, the next one is chaining. Okay, chaining in the sense there are the two things you should remember in the chaining. Okay, forward chaining. Okay, backward chaining. Forward chaining and backward chaining. Chaining is used when a person fails to perform a complex task. Okay, when we use chaining means when the person fails to perform a complex task. Okay, when he fails to perform a complex task, we need to give chaining. Even the complex task is broken into a number of small steps, and each step is taught to the patient. Okay. When the person is failed to perform a complex task, what we need to do means we need to break that complex task into number of small steps. Okay, each step we need to taught to the patient. Okay, in forward chaining, one start with first step, goes on to the second step, then it goes on to the third step, likewise. First, in forward chaining, what will happen? They are supposed to start with the first step, then the second step, then the third step, so on. When it comes to the backward chaining, he is supposed to start with the last step to the first step. Forward chaining, backward chaining. Backward means from the last to the first step. Forward chaining means from the first step to the last step. Actually, when a person fails to perform a complex task, what a therapist need to do means he need to break the complex task into a small steps. Each step need to taught to the patient. After taught to the patient, what will happen? He need first, there are two types of chainings are there, forward chaining and backward chaining. Forward chaining means he need to start with the first step, and next he should go for second step. The next one he is supposed to go to third step. Okay, likewise he need to perform the task. The backward chaining means from the last steps to he is supposed to come to the first step. Actually, this backward chaining is found to be more effective in training with the mentally disabled. Why we are using backward chaining in the sense this is more effective when the patients are with mentally disabled. Disability patients, mentally disability patients, it is more effective for the backward chaining. Okay, here I will give one example for backward and the forward chaining. I will give one example. For example, see, if I'll brushing the teeth. If I'll give this task to the 10 years old kid, he'll do well. Okay, because that is a very simple task for 10-year-old kid, right? Okay. If I'll give brushing the teeth, if I'll give a 3 years old kid, that is very complex task, right? Okay, brushing the teeth for 10-year-old kid, he can do well. That is a simple task for him. He can perform well. But when I give this task to the 3-year-old kid, he cannot perform well because that is a complex task. So in those conditions, what we need to do means, okay, step by step, that is the complex task. If I tell like over 5 minutes, like from the brush, take out the brush from the cabinet and till replacing the brush in the same cabinet, if I tell orally, he cannot perform well, the kid cannot perform well. Okay, if I break the complex task into step by step, then it is very easy to learn, even it is very easy to perform well. Okay, that is it. So the kid, first what we need to do is, the first step what we need to do is, in the forward chaining, first step to last step, right? Forward chaining, what we need to do is, first we need to teach the kid to how to take out the brush from the cabinet. Then we need to teach the kid to how to take out the paste from the cabinet. First we need to teach the kid to take out the brush from the cabinet, and we need to teach the kid to take out the paste from the cabinet. After taking the brush and paste, what we need to do means, you need to foam into the sink. After that, we need to clean the foam area with a running water. Again, he is supposed to brush with the bottom top teeth front and bottom teeth front. After that, again he need to split in the sink. Okay. After that, what will happen? He is supposed to clean his brush. After that, he is supposed to clean full mouth, and after that, he is supposed to keep that. He is supposed to replace the brush in the cabinet. Okay. Likewise, step by step, these complex tasks supposed to break it in a small step. Each small step we need to talk to the patient. Okay. Step by step, when we are teaching to the kid, he can learn. This comes under forward step. From the taking out the brush from the cabinet, replacing the brush in the same cabinet. From first step to the last step. Okay. The backward chaining in the sense, from the last step to the first step. How we need to replace the he is supposed to perform, like how he is supposed to replace the same brush in the cabinet, and till the taking out of the brush from the cabinet. From the last step to the till the first step we need to perform. Okay, that is backward chaining and forward. Forward chaining everybody can do, but backward chaining is somewhat difficult. But even when the patient performs backward chaining also, that is more effective, especially for mental disability patient. This is comes under chaining. This is also teaching one new behavior to the patient. This is comes under operant conditioning procedures to teach new behavior. In that, there are the modeling is there, shaping is there, chaining is there. Chaining is again divided into forward chaining and backward chaining. Okay. The next. Okay. The next, sixth one is operant conditioning procedure for decreasing maladaptive behavior. Okay. The sixth one is operant conditioning procedure procedures to decrease maladaptive behaviors. Okay. Maladaptive behaviors. In this, again, to decrease maladaptive behavior, there are the procedures are there, like extinction or restitution. The first one is restitution or restitution. Okay. The second one is second one is punishment. Third one is timeout. And the next one is restitution or overcorrection. Okay. Extinction or ignoring. Sorry, restitution not extinction or ignoring. Ignoring. Okay. Extinction or ignoring. The second one is punishment. The third one is timeout. Then the fourth one is restitution or overcorrection. The fifth one is response cost. Okay. Again, this is divided into 5. Decreasing maladaptive behavior. Operant conditioning procedure to decrease maladaptive behavior. Again, it is divided into 5. The first one is restitution or extinction or ignoring. The second one is punishment. The third one is timeout. Then the fourth one is restitution or overcorrection. Then the fifth one is response cost. Okay. These are the 5 steps are there for decreasing maladaptive behavior. Here, extinction or ignoring. Extinction or ignoring. Okay. The first one is extinction or ignoring. In this, what will happen means, so extinction means removal. Extinction or ignoring something. Okay. Or removal of something. Okay. Here, the extinction means removal of attention towards permanently. Okay, rewards permanently. Extinction means removal of attention or attention rewards permanently. Here what will happen is, here the following problem, like this includes action is like not looking at the patient, not talking to the patient, or not having physical contact with the patient. Okay, like if like extinction or ignoring, if the patient is having, if the see for example you take here, you take a mental hospital. Okay, mental hospital, psychiatric hospital, you take psychiatric hospital. In this what will happen is, if you take in this extinction ignoring, this procedure we can use to decrease maladaptive behavior, right? In this, if patient is having, if the nurse is having a problem with the patient behavior, okay, if the nurse is having a problem with patient behavior, what the nurse supposed to do is, she suppose even he is having problem with the patient's behavior, right? So she supposed to decrease that maladaptive behavior, right? What the nurse supposed to do here? The nurse supposed to remove the reward from the patient. How will remove attention reward? Attention reward in the sense, attention reward in the sense, we are giving rewards as putting attention to the patient. We are giving rewards as like giving good treatment to the patient, having good communication, having touching with the patient, physical contact with the patient. That type of these are some sort of rewards. Means attention reward we call this. Okay. When ignoring or extinction will help in this type of procedure, like when we are not talking with the patient. Okay, because she had a problem with the patient behavior. When the nurse stop or when the nurse stop that, if the nurse stop not to talk with the patient, when the nurse is not seeing the patient, when the nurse is not having the contact with the patient, even when the nurse is not giving good care to the patient, in those conditions, even the patient may can have the thing, nurse is not at all talking with me, nurse is not at all looking at me, even nurse is not at all touching my, like I'm having a pain, some type of pain, the side also is not touching. See, the patient automatically, the patient may have like feelings inside in his mind, even he may change his behavior because the nurse is ignoring. Even we are removing attention reward from the patient. Attention reward from the patient. Attention reward is not looking, not talking, not having contact with the patient. That's all. These are the things are the problem. So when the nurse is doing like that with the patient, automatically the patient will change his behavior. That is, thereby we can decrease the maladaptive behavior from the patient. Okay, that is comes under ignoring or extinction. The next one is punishment. The punishment in the sense I already said, like there is a positive punishment may have and negative punishment may have. Okay, here the punishment we use like when the patient is when the patient is not listening. After the patient, yesterday I have given some examples. When the mother says not to touch the lamp, if the kid is not listening, again he touches the lamp, what will happen automatically? He got the pain and heat, right? So that is one type of punishment. Additionally, they are getting unpleasant response. Okay, that is comes under punishment. So when they are giving punishment to the patient, automatically the patient will change his behavior. Okay, that is comes under punishment. Okay, the next one is time out. Okay, the third one is time out. Here the time out in the sense, what the time out here in the sense, these method, time out method include removing the patient
okay, is not completed his work on particular time, a particular day the nurse is not allowed the kid to not to play outside. Okay, she is not she is not she is not supposed to allow the kid to play outside with the other children. Okay, that is the one type of timeout. Timeout means period of time. Reward is here what? Reward in the sense is not is not a reward in the sense is having, if he do the work he can have a reward to play with the kids. Playing outside of the ward with other children is the reward here. Okay, playing out of the ward with other children is the reward is here. Okay, on particular day or particular time if he is not doing the work properly, that reward we are removing the reward from the patient, means we are not allowing him to play with the other children out of the ward. That is, we are removing the reward from the patient. Okay, if we do the work properly he is having reward, like he can go out, he can play with the other children. If we are not doing work properly, we don't have a reward, means he cannot go out and he cannot play with other children. That is comes under time. Time out means a particular period of time, a particular day only. Okay, then restitution or overcorrection. Here, the restitution or overcorrection means restoring the disturbed situation to state that it is much better than what was before, the occurrence of the problem behavior. Okay, here restitution means restoring the disturbed situation to state that is much better than what it was before the occurrence of the problem behavior. Okay, for example, disturbed situation before the occurrence of the problem behavior means what will happen here is restitution, overcorrection or restitution means overcorrection or restitution means here, for example, see, for all the psychiatric patients they cannot control their bladder and bowel movement, right? But they are supposed to control when they are coming for the therapy or any rehabilitation center, they are supposed to control their bowel and bladder movement also. Okay, if for example patient passes urine in the ward. Okay, if he passes urine in the ward, what he is supposed to do actually? It is nurses, automatically the nurses what they will do, they will ask him to clean the dirty area. But here overcorrection or restitution, what will happen here is, here the nurse supposed to make the patient clean
Hold the ward, hold the floor in the ward. Means that is over correction. Means no, like what if he passes the urine on a particular area, he is supposed to clean a particular area itself. But here what the nurse is doing is not only cleaning the particular area, but also he is supposed to clean whole the floor in the ward. That is the over correction. Means over punishment they are giving. So thereby the later days what the patient will do, he will automatically think, see, if I pass the urine on a particular area, if I supposed to clean the particular, it's okay, but I supposed to clean whole floor, no, so I should not pass the urine on the floor. Again he will change his behavior. Again he can decrease his maladaptive behavior. Means over correction or over punishment we are giving. Not only clean the dirty area, but also he is supposed to clean whole floor in the ward. Okay, automatically he can reduce his maladaptive behavior. At the next time he cannot do the same thing. He cannot pass urine in the ward, he can pass the urine in the washroom. Okay, that is the restitution or over correction. Then the last one is response cost. Here the response cost is like this procedure used to use with individuals who are not on token programs for teaching adaptive behavior. When undesirable behaviors occur, a fixed number of tokens or points are deducted from the individual. Okay, here what will happen is when a maladaptive behavior occurs, when undesirable behavior occurs, a fixed number of tokens are here we can deduct tokens or points from the patient which he already earned. Okay, which he already earned the tokens or points whichever there in his hand, that we will deduct from the patient when the patient shows undesirable behaviors or when the patient shows maladaptive behavior in the hospital. So that time we have to deduct tokens or points whichever he already earned. Okay, here the example is, for example, if the patient is you take child. Okay, childhood disorder. Okay, the child is, there are the many childhood disorders are there. If the child is behaving like if the child is having aggressive work verbal abuse. Okay, is using verbal abuse in the ward. Patient, if the patient, the child is using or the child is behaving aggressively by using all verbal abuse and all, what the nurse is supposed to do means, the therapist, what the therapist need to do means, he need to deduct some type of like tokens or points from the patient. Okay, that means because of his response is what? Because he is having aggressiveness and he is using bad words in the word. That is his response. We are giving cost for that. What is the cost? We are deducting or removing certain tokens or points from the patient which he already earned. That is the cost. Means because of his response, because of his behavior, maladaptive behavior, or because of his aggressiveness, we are putting some cost. Cost in the sense we are taking the token, deducting the tokens or points from the patient. That is comes under response cost. Response cost in the sense a cost that is imposed for the response. The cost which is imposed for the response, that is called response cost. Because of their response, because of their maladaptive behavior, we are giving some type of cost. Cost in the sense deducting the tokens or points. Automatically, the later on what he will do, see, if he lost all the tokens or if he lost all the points, even he can lose his entertainment, he can lose all the programs in the whichever he want to participate, he cannot participate. Thereby he can automatically decrease his maladaptive behavior. That is comes under response cost. These are the operant conditioning procedure to decrease maladaptive behavior. By using extinction or ignoring, we can reduce maladaptive behavior. By using punishment, by using time out, by using restitution or overcorrection, or by using response cost also, we can decrease maladaptive behavior from the patient. So these are the comes under operant conditioning procedure to decrease maladaptive behavior. The last one is assertiveness and social skill training. Okay, the last one is assertiveness and social skill training. Okay, assertiveness and social skill training. Assertive training is a behavior therapy technique. Okay, assertive training is a behavior therapy technique. In this, what we do means, in this the patient is given training to bring about changes in emotional and other behavioral pattern by being assertive. Here, what we will do in assertive training or assertiveness means, assertive training is a behavior therapy training or behavior therapy training. In this training or in this technique, what we will do means, here the patient is given training. We supposed, as a therapist, we supposed to give some trainings to the patient. Okay, which type of trainings means, here the trainings we need to bring some changes in the patient. Even in his emotional changes we need to bring, even his other behavior patterns also we need to bring some changes, like emotional changes, even other type of behavior patterns also we can change by providing these type of training skills to the patient. Okay, patient is encouraged not to be afraid of showing an appropriate response, negative or positive, and ideas. Here freely he can have a contact with the therapist. Okay, he should not afraid to share his feelings. He should not afraid to share with his behavior and all, his past experience and all. If he supposed to, he should have a freedom. Again, by providing assertive training, okay, freely he can talk with the therapist. Even he can share his ideas. Even he can share his suggestions. Even he can clarify his doubts also. He can ask the questions. He can clarify his doubt also. Okay, thereby we can change emotional pattern. Even we can change the some different type of behaviors also we can change by providing this assertive training. The next one is social skill training. Here the social skill training helps to improve social manners, like encouraging eye-to-eye contact, speaking appropriately, observing simple equity. Equity means manner and relating to the people. Here social skill training means like about the society, even how to speak with the other people and how to maintain eye-to-eye contact with the people, and some sort of like how to observe the simple, how to speak a simple manner. Okay, even everything about the social skills, they can improve their social manners. Even we can encourage eye-to-eye contact. Even we can encourage the patients to speak appropriately. Even observe like simple manners and all. Even they can have a good interpersonal relationship with other people. Likewise, we can provide assertive trainings and we can provide social skills training. Okay, these are the comes under behavior therapy. Okay, hereby we completed behavior therapy. Behavior therapy, under behavior therapy we have discussed definition of behavior therapy, objectives of behavior therapy, theories, two theories, classical conditioning theory, operant conditioning theory, then major assumptions of behavior therapy. Then we have discussed behavior technique under the systematic desensitization, flooding, aversion therapy, operant conditioning procedures for increase adaptive behavior. In that, positive reinforcement, token economy completed. The next one is operant conditioning procedures to teach new behavior. In that, shaping got, modeling got over, shaping got over, chaining, backward chaining, forward chaining. The next one is operant conditioning procedures to decrease the maladaptive behavior. In that, we have seen extinction or ignoring. The next we have seen punishment. Next we have seen timeout. Next we have seen response extinction or restitution. We have seen like overcorrection. Next we have last we seen response cost. The second one is assertiveness or social skill training. Hereby we have completed behavior therapy. Okay. I hope you understood. You can go through in MSc first year psychiatric, BSc third year psychiatric textbook also. Okay, even you can there are the many type of psychiatric textbooks are there. You can gather the matter from there itself. Okay, thereby I completed behavior therapy. Okay, thank you for all listening my topic, and thank you ma'am for giving this opportunity. Thank you.